by training, I'm a lawyer, but even when I started working after competition law. I was working very close to marketing, and I was noticing like this whole creative writing and everything. This is way more fun. And I was looking for ways to maybe branch out and do that full time. And I always had a thing for tech or for automations, for software. And then somehow that happened that I work now in the marketing department. Writing creative blog articles, but also doing videos, doing customer onboarding videos, everything that's very close to the tool. And once I was doing that, people were like, Dani, since you're working so close with the tool, don't you want to do like interviews and videos as well? And I'm like, yeah, cool. You know, why not? And that's why I'm very happy. That's why today I'm able to sit here with you, Krystel, and talk about software.
That's very inspiring. And that's to show anyone that, you know, if you are formally trained in something, it doesn't mean that you have to live in that box. And I think as entrepreneurs and Amazon sellers, sometimes I find a lot of people stop themselves because they think, well, I'm a lawyer, or I'm a pharmacist, or I'm a XYZ. Like, I don't know anything about selling online. Well, guess what? Most people who get started don't know anything about selling online. So that's very inspiring. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So let's get started and let's talk about pricing. As you know, most people, and I get this comment all the time, most people, when they want to decide on maybe starting off, or let's say they're starting their journey on Amazon and they're looking at products, and then they go into a category, most people say, everybody's selling at a really low price, or everybody's selling at a really high price. Great, I'm going to make a lot of money. And a lot of people seem to, I think the percentage is about 30%. A lot of people fail on Amazon because they end up selling a product that is, you know, not within the market price. So all of that being said, we're going to be talking about price optimization and how that could be a strategy to help you succeed on Amazon.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
I think, well, you have to see from what perspective you're selling. First of all, yes, it's price optimization is important from whatever perspective you see, but the two main perspectives that I would like to look at is, for one, are you selling over wholesale or are you selling over private label? If you sell over wholesale, pricing or price optimization is super important, because if you sell over wholesale, you have to compete for the buy box. You have to, the buy box being the add to cart field. And once you're in the buy box, once you're selling over the buy box, you have this high visibility, you're making more sales, and you have more freedom to like try out new stuff. And the thing is, the price optimization is one of the most important metrics of how to win that buy box. Of course, there are other metrics that you have to take into account as well. How good is your customer support? How fast is your delivery rate? How low your ODR? Stuff like that. But the pricing is one of the most important, if not the most important metric in order to win this buy box. That is why you always have to check in the framework of price optimization, what do I have to look out for? And that is, for one, as you said, what are my direct competitors selling at what kind of price? How far can I go down if I want to challenge the buy box? Can I go, where's my break even? And is that even in the framework of something that is possible for me? Or should I just maybe do another product research and go for a completely new product because this is simply not feasible for me? Stuff like that. Those are things you have to take into account. And those are things that you can do manually, absolutely. It also makes a lot of sense to do it manually because you have no external influences messing with your price optimization, so to speak. But the thing is, if you only have like around 20 to 30 SKUs, you can do that very well manually. Once you hit, like most of our clients, they come to us after they hit, I think, 60, 70 SKUs, because they simply don't have the time anymore to monitor everything, to check out. You mean with more SKUs, you get more competitors as well. And they just don't have the time to do that anymore, which is why they need the automation. But yeah, that is from the wholesale perspective. You need it. You need the price optimization to win the buy box, to get more visibility, to make more sales. From the private label perspective, I would say a repricer makes a lot of sense, not because you have to compete for the buy box. A lot of our clients tell us exactly this. They start out with a reimbursement tool. We try to cross-sell. We tell them, hey, listen, you want to try out the repricer as well? It's free for 2 weeks. And they go like, you know what? I don't have to compete for the buy box. Why would I need a repricer? And you're like, it's true. I mean, yes, you don't have to compete for the buy box, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have competitors, right? Exactly. It's like Adidas, exactly, right? Like if you sell Adidas sneakers, okay, right, you might be the only person, let's say hypothetically, you're the only one on this planet selling Adidas sneakers, but you still have to check out at what price Nike is selling for, you know what I mean? And that is the reason why you need a repricer, simply to monitor the competition, because I mean, you know this better than me. Amazon is such a dynamic platform and so highly competitive, and especially competitive when it comes to pricing. And once you lose track there, once you lose track what are your competitors doing, you lose your footing, you lose your edge. And then, and that's why 30%, as you said, fail. And yeah, and that's why I think in both perspectives, no matter if you sell private label or wholesale, price optimization, whether you do it with automations or not, is super important, if not the most important thing to take into account. Yeah.
What does a tool do that you can't do manually? And what would you suggest to, the follow-up question would be, if you know, everyone that's watching, if they are private label sellers, what should be the strategy? Because you hear obviously strategies all over. Some strategies say start with a really, really high price, and then if it doesn't sell, lower it. Or my strategy is start with a very competitive price until you get ranked, and then you can start increasing the price. But it's different strategies. What do you see is currently working with all of the incredible clients that are using SellerLogic? Make sure that you thumbs up this video, leave me a comment in the comment section below. And if you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button. If you want to be part of Amazon Sellers Society, first of all, you can join our Inner Circle membership, where you can go through a step-by-step course to learn exactly how to sell on Amazon in the Middle East. Or if you want support from our team of experts so that we can create a store on Amazon in the UAE or KSA just for you with products that can succeed, then you can join our Done For You service, link right here. If you are currently selling on Amazon and you need a tool that can help you increase your sales while decreasing your PPC ad spend, join the Sellers Society team and tool. Sellers Society is proudly part of Google for Startups. You'll find all of the information on the links here, but you'll also find all of the information in the description box of this video. Let's continue.
Well, regarding your first question is what does a tool do that a person can't do? Manual, for one, as I said, one thing would be the sheer size. A tool is able to monitor 1,000 SKUs at once, whereas a person only has 24 hours a day. Plus, you maybe want to do other stuff that is more fun than monitoring prices on Amazon for 24 hours a day. First of all, that's that. But also, a tool takes away a factor like human error. I mean, right? I mean, nobody's perfect. We can't. I mean, there's people that are brilliant, but nobody's perfect. And a machine, if you have, of course, there are bugs as well. And a machine isn't perfect at the end of the day as well. But the factor of human error that is definitely taken out, which means that you have a cleaner result and more effective results in a faster amount of time. That is the reason why we tend to go for automation. And the second, can you remind me, what was the second question again?
So what do you find is, let's continue with that actually, and let's talk, okay. I'll ask you the question later on. So let's talk a little bit about repricing in general and why it's so what is it, if we wanted to explain to someone what SellerLogic does? Very simple. What does it actually physically do?
Okay, what it does is our repricer analyzes several external circumstances. For example, the price of the competition, what is the buy box price, what is the threshold price, and it adapts your pricing correspondingly. And for what you just mentioned right now, the technique that you have, first go for a very competitive price, and then that's exactly what our repricer does best. That's the buy box strategy. That is the most popular strategy with our clients. So first, if you set it to the buy box strategy, the repricer checks, okay, what price do you need to be able to be in the buy box? And then it sets that price down to exactly that price, which is normally a very competitive price. Waits till you get the buy box, it gets a signal from Amazon. I'm just gonna, in simple layman terms, it gets a signal from Amazon and says, yes, you are in the buy box now. And then the repricer basically asks Amazon, listen, if I up the price, if I hike the price by 10 cents, will I still be in the buy box? And if the signal comes back, yes, the repricer does that. And so on and so forth, until the signal comes back, okay, listen, if you go up 1 cent higher, we're gonna kick you out of the buy box because you're not competitive enough. And that's where the repricer stops. So at the end of the day, the sellers that use the repricer, they don't sell. First of all, they sell a lot because through the high visibility, through the buy box factor, but they also sell at the highest price through the repricing factor, through the So, and that's the main, and that's, yeah,
So
you can imagine
technically
that's why,
speaking,
yeah.
you can do this, but you have to do it manually, whereby you just increase the price, wait and see if you're still in the buy box, and then increase the price, and which basically goes against the concept of having an online business. The concept of having an online business is not wasting your time on these manual tasks. You want to be focusing on the time, or you want your time to be focused on things that grow your business. That's why I love tools and softwares that can help you basically make you or your team make the most of your time by focusing on the things that you like, and you can have something in the background that's just managing all of this. Obviously, this is not for everyone. This is for somebody that's at a certain level. So if you're just starting out, maybe SellerLogic is a little bit too, I'm not going to say advanced, but maybe it's a tool that you don't really need at the beginning, because like you said, you need to have a certain amount of skills for it to make sense.
Yes, exactly. That's yeah. That's exactly what I said right now. Like we normally our clients come to us after like 70 SKUs. Before, we also have people that like to test out the tool, but I mean, if you only have 3 SKUs, there's not a lot that the repricer can do for you. Yeah. Very true.
Let's talk about some strategies that we can provide for people who are selling private label. So, okay, repricer, buy box, like you said, how can you make advantage of a repricer? And what are the things that you find are good strategies for somebody that's doing private label? Sell high, sell low, sell medium, sell what do you find most people are doing?
What I think makes a lot of sense is to like first analyze trends that may be occurring in your certain area. I know a trend for sure here in Germany is that sales go up after 8 o'clock in the evening, because you know the German comes back from work, has had his meal, sits on the couch, puts on his Birkenstock sandals and see where he can spend his well-earned money. So they do that on Amazon. And that's when all the sales go up for some reason. Of course, the best idea what you would do in that case is just hike your prices from 8 to I think 10 p.m. or something like that, and afterwards go back down again so that you attain high visibility. Because if you overcharge the whole time, of course, the Amazon algorithm is going to make sure that you regret that. So what you want to do is you want to hike the price for certain time periods a day. And this can change from area to area. A couple of weeks ago, I was talking to Gianmarco Meli, who is currently in Bali, and he said that in Indonesia, for some reason, it's exactly the other way around. The people shop a lot in the morning before they go to work. Yeah, exactly. It's the thing is like what's important to do is to first analyze those trends, which you can also do with the repricer. We have this heat map where the repricer will tell you in what times of the day you've been making a lot of sales and when you were not making a lot of sales. Exactly. And then according to that heat map, you can set the repricer to the prices that you want, or you can tell them to max the prices out then or minimize the prices then. And what I also heard is that there's a pretty fancy technique. I don't know if it's only possible for wholesale or also private label. I think it's more a wholesale technique, but this guy told me that normally I know that people go down with the prices at night because they don't think that a lot of people are actually buying stuff and they want to attain high visibility, right? But what he did is he knew that, I don't know, out of the 7 or 8 competitors on his list, they were using a repricer, and he knows that a repricer always follows suit with the best competitors. So what he did at the end of the day, he hiked the prices up at 12 p.m. hoping that the repricers would follow him, which they did. And shortly before people would come back online, he went down with the price, him being the only one with a low price and people going for his product. Genius. But yeah, I know. Yeah. But for that, you really have to have, and that's what I mean. You have to look, you have to analyze your competition, analyze because stuff like that, you can only come up with an idea like that if you have accurate knowledge. Who is your competition and are they using a repricer? What kind of repricer are they using? So yeah, I know. So yeah, so my short answer would be, you can if you have good knowledge about the environment you're selling in. Strategy. Yeah. Exactly. Your repricer can definitely help you with that.
Yeah. How can our viewers first of all, SellerLogic does operate in the Middle East. You are available on every single Amazon marketplace, so that's great. But how can people find out a little bit more about SellerLogic? We'll definitely leave all of the links in the description box, but I want you to tell everyone.
Yeah, definitely. You can always visit us under sellerlogic.com. You can also visit our blog. You can find us on all big social media platforms, except TikTok. We're not on that yet. We have to find the time. We're always pressed for time in the marketing department.
You just don't, you just don't want to dance. You just don't want to dance. That's the truth.
You called me out here. Yeah, okay, that's true. I'm still working on that dance. No, exactly. But you can find us on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. So exactly. Or you can just contact me directly. I'll be happy to talk to you, or just to forward you to someone who knows more about the techie stuff or something. But yeah, exactly. Yep.
Thanks, Daniel. Thank you for all the valuable knowledge and information.
Thank you, Krystel.
Thank you so much to Daniel and the SellerLogic team. SellerLogic, like I said in the video, works on all marketplaces, all of Amazon's marketplaces, including the UAE as well as KSA and Egypt. You can try it out for 2 weeks for free. You'll find all of the information in the description box of this video. I'll see you in another video with more information. Bye.